Mike Dunleavy just said we have 3 potential home games to get into the playoffs. I think that's a good way of looking at it. We beat the Clippers, we're in. If not, beat Memphis, we're in. If not, we got one more crack. Like we're in a great spot, and obviously we don't want to mess around and go to the play-in, but we're in a really good spot. So considering where we were 2 months ago, Mike makes the Jimmy trade. I think we're like 23-7 since then. We've skyrocketed up the standings, but we're right in this, morass with all these other teams, and so we are where we are. We're in a good spot. We're excited about what's ahead, and we gotta go do it.
Steph looked like he kind of jammed his thumb there in the first quarter. Do you have any update on that?
I don't.
The X-rays, they were negative.
What are your, early thoughts on the Clippers? I know you probably don't really have time or ability at this point to, scheme it out, but you know who they are.
Yeah, we know them well. They're a great team, great two-way team. I think they added to their team at the trade deadline, and they're playing at a really high level right now. So I think they're one of the best teams in the league. So we got to go out and play a good game to get them.
It's a 12:30 tip Sunday. You're on the road now. I don't know if you'll get will you get a practice in tomorrow?
No, day off tomorrow. I think the rest is more important.
So probably kind of a walkthrough?
Yeah, walk through Sunday morning and right to it.
Feel comfortable with that? I
Sure.
Guess
it is what it is. So, yeah. We've had playoff games that started at 12:30. So, you just adapt.
How valuable would getting the 6th seed be, compared to having to go through the playing rounds?
I mean, the rest would be great. The preparation would be great. So you absolutely want to win that game and, keep things simple. But like I said, we got multiple possibilities here. And the fact that we are in this spot, 48 wins with 1 to go, given where we were midseason, I'm really proud of the team, the whole group. They've just gone on a phenomenal run here last couple months.
Blazers still have some size despite missing some guys tonight.
I'm sorry?
Blazers still have size despite missing guys tonight. How do you feel about your smaller units with Jimmy and Draymond at the front court against teams over the past month or two with teams with size like that?
Well, we've been really good, starting Draymond at the 5. I was thrilled to get Quentin Post back tonight because when we can put him out there with Draymond, it just relieves Draymond from that responsibility to guard the other 5 for tonight, 15, 16 minutes. We need to be able to play big, too. Looney has been really good this last month. So we've got options, but our best lineup has been the starters. They've put together a really good 1-loss record, and but we've got options after that to go bigger.
Right there, you see him shaking it off right there on the dime to GP2. Had to leave. He got it taped up. He did return to the game, and he only played 27 minutes tonight as he sat most of the fourth quarter tonight. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. But the most important thing is that he came out of the game clean, because you do not want any injuries, especially to your star player in game number 81.
And as Steph always does when he misses games, he came right out of the locker room, knocked down his first 3-point shot. Had a decent night. The only concern, Bonte and Zena, to me is, you had to have that tape on the finger. And I've had different surgeries on my hand. Even before I had surgery, once I got injured, it seemed like there was a bullseye. No matter what, that next game, I always kept getting hit in that spot. So, again, another important reason you get that game Sunday, so you have that week off.
Yeah, it feels like even when we saw Brandon Podolski get hit in the face, it felt like every game after he kept getting hit in the face, right? You just are more liable. I don't know what it is. But for me, seeing that, it's constant pressure to be catching the ball, hit the ball. I was really happy to see him go up with that layup with that hand, because that maybe means that it might not be bothering him as much, but that is something that is really uncomfortable, and so it was good to see him play through that. And as Mully said, the more time that he doesn't have to do any ball handling, maneuvering with it will be great.
What is the challenge of playing with the tape on your thumb? Well, you've had thumb injuries, hand injuries. What is your challenge Steph is going through with the tape all over his thumb?
Yeah, I think it matters on the degree of the injury. If it's a sprain, you're going to be fine, especially with a week off.
Yeah.
Now, if you have ligament damage, it's a whole different story, but we don't think that's the case. So to me, you get that game Sunday, that week off would be really important for Steph, just to heal up. He had that tailbone injury.
Right.
Just have that week to rest and recover and get mentally and physically refreshed for the playoffs.
All right, let's just discuss Buddy Hield here. He had 12 points in the first half, had it rolling there. And, of course, he made the 200 club, made 3 club for the 7th time in his career. That's right, 7 times over the course of his career. He's made at least 200 threes in the season, 16 points a night. And, Gina, we discussed this in our pregame show. It is imperative for Buddy to get rolling here because he's one of the few knockdown, spot-up three-point shooters this team has.
And we did discuss this, and when we discussed it, Mully mentioned Buddy Hield is one of those players that is consistently in the gym. I've said this before. I talked to an assistant coach with the Warriors. He talks about the amount of shots that Buddy takes from a three-point percentage is literally 3 times anyone else on this roster. He is in the gym day in, day out, trying to get that shot going. And now you're seeing offense roll with him. He's finding his spots, coming off of screens, being able to find himself on the kickouts. This is exactly where you want Buddy Hield to take shots. Also in the momentum of the rhythm of the offense. You don't want him taking shots all willy-nilly, right? You want to be able to have some movement, get players out of position in front of him, give him an open shot rather than something forced or contested.
Yeah, he's a career 40% shooter this year. He's shooting about 37%. When he gets those catch and shoot threes, they're almost automatic. He's got to find those nice rhythm threes, whether it be in transition. He's really important on those non-Steph Curry minutes playing with Jimmy Butler. He's one of those guys that the opposing teams will not leave. That's going to give Jimmy Butler some space to operate one-on-one. But Butler's, Buddy's put together an incredible career. Yeah. And you talk about making 200 threes 7 times and a career 40% three-point shooter. Even if he's not making shots, the opposing defense will guard him tight, which opens up opportunities for his teammates.
You got to respect him, and that's huge. And the fact that he's also playing defense and doing all the other little things, that's huge.
No doubt about that. All right, so the Warriors get the win in Portland, their last road game of the regular season. And there it is, Gina, as we check out the Golden State Warriors, a game behind the Denver Nuggets and the Clippers, but they cannot overtake the Clippers and the Nuggets because they do not have the tiebreaker against those 2 teams. However, there's a scenario in which the Warriors could possibly move up here. You see the T-Wolves at the 7th spot here. Tim Kawakami.
Tim Kawakami.
From the SF Standard. Wow, his tweet's making our television show. What's up, TK? And the 3-team tie, which is what it would be in that scenario. The teams are seeded by winning percentage versus other teams in that group. So if it is the Clippers, Warriors, T-Wolves, the T-Wolves would have the best percentage, then Golden State, then the Clippers. So it'd be Minnesota 5, the Warriors 6, and the Clippers at 7. So it does look like the Clippers may play all their players on